So to continue the lesson, so that's the background. You have the variable on one side equations, and then you have the variables on both sides. And now let's take a look and see what a typical equation might look like. So those are the basics. We want to get simplified, and then if we combine going back to unit 0 and simplify like this, we have, let's say, 2 times x plus 3 equals, let's say, 5x minus, and let's even let's put something like this, x minus the quantity x minus 1. So we can see we need to simplify not only the left side, but now also the right side. So simplifying just means exactly what you remember from unit 0. Simplifying just means on the left side here, it just means we're going to distribute the 2, and we get 2x plus 3. That's as simplified as that expression can get. And then on the right side, be careful here, because I've noticed sometimes students will think that they have to multiply this 5x by what's inside the parentheses. But there's a minus sign in between this term and this set of parentheses over here. So you're not going to be multiplying. It's 5x and then minus. You can think of that as a minus 1 times what's inside. So negative 1 times x is negative x, or negative 1x. And then negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. So notice the left side is simplified after the first step, but the right side is not. So we just have to continue to simplify the right side by combining the like terms. So we have 2x plus 3 is equal to 5x minus 1x is 4x, and we have plus 1. So the right side simplifies. So now if you're starting to get the hang of simplifying, you just have to apply one more step, and that would be one more step from Thursday. So Thursday, we only had to simplify one side. But now today, we're just simplifying both sides. And after simplifying both sides, the next step again is to choose sides. So perhaps pause the video and make a decision on what side you want to put the variables on and what side you want to put the numbers on. And then maybe even keep the video paused until you can solve this equation. And I will go ahead and continue here by choosing to move the variable terms to the right side, keeping the variable terms positive. And therefore, I will be moving the number terms to the left side. So 2x minus 2x is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, and when the dust settles again, we have 3 minus 1 is 2, 4x minus 2x is 2x, and then dividing both sides by 2, we get x equals 1. Okay, so x equals 1 is our solution, and let's do one more. I'd like to give you a practice problem, and then I will show you some special cases, and I'm going to have to make a third video for the special cases. So I know it's a little early to do this, but since it's a video and you have plenty of time in class to try to work this out, I'd like to challenge you to do this kind of I called it a mega challenge yesterday in class. But here's the mega challenge. And if you just take your time and do each step one at a time, you might just surprise yourself, and it'd feel really good to be able to get this problem right, like to get it right the first time. So that's my challenge to you. Can you get it right the first time? So just to read you what I have here, and I don't seem to be able to zoom in, and oh, there we go, I can zoom in. So we have negative 2 times the quantity x minus 1 minus the quantity x plus 4 plus 7x is equal to negative 3 times the quantity negative 2x minus 1, and then we have a plus 2. All right, so my challenge to you is, can you simplify the left side, and then can you simplify the right side, and then once you do that, choose sides and then solve for the variable. So if you want to pause the video, go ahead and do that now. Distributing the negative 2 to both terms, we get negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. And then again, when you don't see a number in front, I like to squeeze a 1 in there to remind me to go ahead and distribute the negative 1 to both terms. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4 or minus 4. And then we have a plus 7x. And then we can simplify the right side as well at the same time. First step anyway. Negative 3 times negative 2x is a positive 6x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. And then we have this plus 2 that kind of comes along for the ride. Now, on the left side of the equal sign, we have I'm going to underline the x terms, the variable terms. And I'm going to underline them once, and I'll underline the number terms twice. And I'll do the same thing on the right side. So 6x, and then we have a 3 and a 2. So combining like terms on the left-hand side, we have a negative 2x and a negative 1x. That's a negative 3x. Okay, so those guys, it's negative 3x. But then I also want to combine that with the positive 7x, which gives me 4x. Negative 3x and positive 7x is 4x. Then we have a 2 and a negative 4, which gives us a minus 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So that, if you did that and you got 4x minus 2 by simplifying the left side, then you're doing really well and you're understanding how to simplify. That's a good problem to do. That's like probably more difficult or more involved than anything that doesn't have a fraction in it on, let's say, on this Friday's quiz. But anyway, let's keep going. 6x doesn't have any terms to combine with, and then 3 plus 2 is 5. And then if you're watching this video after you've already tried the problem, then you perhaps, hopefully, subtracted 4x from both sides, and then you would have been subtracting 5 from both sides as well. And so you're moving the variable terms to the right side. 6x minus 4x is 2x, and 5 minus 5 is 0. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. And so we just have one last step. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x equals, because the 2's cancel, 2 divides evenly itself one time, equals negative 7 over 2. If you got that, fantastic. If you didn't get that, I challenge you to go back, see if you can figure out your mistake, and then try it again. Just try it again. And if you practice that and are able to do a problem like that, you should be able to do any of the problems on the homework assignment that is due on Thursday. All right, and then please watch the last videos for the special cases, and that shouldn't take too long.